In a small American town just outside Denver lived a young man named Ethan Miller, a dreamer who carried the weight of his own expectations. He was intelligent, curious, and ambitious, the kind of person who read self-help books, watched every success video online, and filled notebooks with quotes and plans. He wanted to become something great, a leader, an innovator, a man others looked up to. But deep down, despite all the information he had gathered, Ethan felt lost. He was exhausted from thinking, planning, overanalyzing, from trying to be perfect. His mind was constantly running, his thoughts never silent. Even when he lay in bed at night, he replayed his failures, his fears, his doubts, his what-ifs. Every piece of advice he absorbed only added to the noise inside him. He had knowledge, but no peace. Success seemed close, but somehow always just out of reach. One afternoon, after a long, draining day at his office job, Ethan received news that his project, the one he'd been working on for months, had been rejected. His manager said, "You think too much, Ethan. You never just act." Those words broke him. That evening, he drove aimlessly through the open roads of Colorado, the mountains standing tall against the fading sunlight. His mind screamed, but his heart whispered for silence. That's when he remembered something his late father once said: "When the world gets too loud, go find someone who knows how to listen." So Ethan drove north to visit Captain Harris, his father's old friend, a retired Navy officer known for his calm wisdom and quiet strength. Captain Harris lived in a small wooden cabin near a lake in Montana, surrounded by pine trees and peace. When Ethan arrived, he found the old man sitting on the porch, sipping tea, his eyes reflecting decades of discipline and patience. "You look heavy, son," the captain said softly. "Sit down." They spoke for a while, or rather, Ethan spoke, pouring out everything that had been eating him from the inside, his failures, his frustration, his confusion. The captain listened quietly. Then, without saying a word, he went inside and returned with a pot of tea. He poured Ethan a cup and kept pouring. The tea rose to the brim, then spilled over, dripping down the table. Shocked, Ethan jumped up. "Sir, the cup is full. It's overflowing." The captain stopped pouring and looked at him with steady eyes. "You see, son, you are just like this cup, so full of thoughts, opinions, and pride that nothing new can enter. You've been trying to fill yourself with more and more knowledge, but what you truly need is to empty your mind." Those few words hit Ethan harder than any lecture or book ever had. He finally understood. His problem wasn't a lack of knowledge, it's that he never allowed silence to speak. His mind was so busy chasing answers that it forgot how to listen. That night, he stayed in the cabin. No phone, no internet, no noise. Just the sound of wind moving through the trees. For the first time in years, Ethan sat quietly with his thoughts, watching them rise and fade like ripples in the lake outside. At first, it felt impossible. His mind kept racing, throwing memories and worries at him. But slowly, minute by minute, his thoughts began to quiet down. He started to notice things he'd never paid attention to before. The rhythm of his breathing, the sound of crickets, the peace of just existing. For the first time in his life, his mind wasn't trying to solve anything. It was just still. Days turned into weeks. Ethan began waking early, walking through the forest, and sitting by the water in silence. He realized that when the mind is empty, clarity naturally flows in. He stopped trying to control everything and started trusting the process. The captain taught him simple lessons: to breathe before reacting, to listen before speaking, and to observe before deciding. He learned that wisdom doesn't come from having more thoughts, it comes from having space between them. Months later, when he returned home, people noticed something different. His voice was calmer, his eyes sharper, his energy balanced. He no longer rushed decisions or feared mistakes. He had become grounded, confident, and free.
Years later, Ethan became a respected business leader and motivational mentor. He built a company that valued mindfulness and emotional intelligence as much as profit. When young people came to him asking for the secret behind his success, he didn't talk about strategy or money. Instead, he smiled and told them about a cup of tea and an old Navy captain in the mountains who taught him the greatest lesson of all, that before you can fill your life with purpose, you must first empty your mind of noise.